I've been thinking about why it is that I am so excited for the Superman film. And the more I've thought about it, the more I've just realized I just miss the feeling of being excited about a superhero film. Like I enjoyed the Thunderbolts. Thunderbolts was great. I wouldn't say it was like the best Marvel thing I've ever seen, but it's a step in the right direction. I think it's showing promise, and they're taking new takes, and it was interesting. But the movie finished, and I looked at my friend I was watching the movie with, and we kind of just said, well, it kind of feels like I just missed that feeling of going to watch an epic superhero film and just being blown away. And I think that's why I've been looking forward to the Superman film, because it represents a new beginning. It's got potential to be something different. James Gunn has been such a promising, he's got such great films. He's pretty reliable. He does great. He's done great things for Marvel and for DC. And he's been so confident with his idea for Superman that he decided, as the head of the DC Warner Brothers brand, to be like, I'm going to put myself on the chopping block, and I'm going to put my film out first because I've got a great idea. So it makes you excited thinking that, well, what was it? What is it that's so great about this that he felt to put it first? And if it's great, if it's good, is it possible that I'll be able to feel anything close to what I've felt before with superhero movies? That's kind of where I am. So I'm hoping that we can get that from this trailer. We've got now this trailer. We had a trailer before from Superman, which was it was a good trailer. I watched that trailer and I felt emotionally moved. I felt excited. We got snapshots of certain things, but we didn't get any idea of what the story was. No real dialogue. We didn't really get to see a lot of the characters and how they play out, and if they come together, and what the dynamic is, and all that kind of stuff. So it'll be good to see from this what the story is. What are they aiming for? What are we trying to capture here? Who is Superman? Who is Lois? Who is Lex? What is the story here? That's what I'm seeing. So let's give it a watch, and let's figure that out together. Hopefully it's good.
Are you being serious right now?
Yeah.
You'd let me interview you as
So clearly they're
Sure.
they're a thing.
Ready?
Let's do it, Cronkite.
Superman.
He's massive.
Miss Lane.
Recently, you've come under a lot of fire for
I
what
know,
some
it's a
might.
lot of
It's
fire,
a
but-
lot. Today, the Secretary of Defense said he was going to look into your actions. That's funny?
My actions? I stopped a war.
Maybe.
Not maybe. I did.
In effect, you illegally
But
entered a country.
This is how
He's a
you're
bit
gonna
arrogant, it
I'm
seems.
not the one being interviewed, Superman.
Ooh, damn.
Did you consult with the president?
No.
You seemingly acting as a representative of
I
the
wasn't
United States
representing
will
anybody
cause more
except for me.
problems around the world.
And doing good.
I would question myself in the same situation and consider the consequences.
People were going to die.
Something
Hey, buddy.
is smashing him.
Eyes up here.
Oh, cool, okay. Getting some shots of the engineer wrecking shop in the Portrait of Solitude.
Choices. Your actions. That's what makes you who you are.
Oh, for a second it sounded like a villain. That's pretty cool.
Man. He's not a man. He's an it. He's somehow become the focal point of the entire world's conversation. I will not accept that.
I cleaned your boots. I'll go get them for you.
Ah, cool.
You have a dog?
It's not his dog. Man, there is so much in that. It's difficult to figure out how to address it all. First impression, first feeling is that it looks grand and epic and very interesting. I think there's moments in the trailer, and it's difficult to portray as much as you'd want to see, or as much as you'd like to the audience to feel. I think trailers are difficult because you want it to be epic and full of action and all that stuff. We also want to include the heart and the feeling there, and so there's moments of that. And it's one thing I think that James Gunn's always good at, is he's good at playing with your emotions. We get to see the dynamic of the relationship between Superman and Lois, and clearly there's a little bit of difference in terms of how they view this. She's more on the side of, you need to be accountable, and you need to be a bit more like, you need to answer to someone and at least get permission to do some of the things you're doing. And he's like, no, I don't. I'm just a person. I don't belong to anyone. I don't, and there's definitely a massive hint of ego there for Superman, which is great, because we want to get a character who's got a lot of growth. We want to see him change. We want to see him be better and get to the point where he's the Superman that we all think about. But he's not there yet, and that's interesting. That is interesting. There's moments as well of heart as well, where you get to see, his mama and papa on the Kent farm, and it seems that seems to be his grounded place where he's himself. And I love it that his mom's cleaning his boots for him, like getting him ready to do his Superman stuff. There's also a moment in that where that makes it appear that Lois, he's like, Superman's passed out in his bed at home, and his mother's looking after him, and Lois is watching. It's almost like she's getting to see him for who he is, from where he comes from, and who loves him, and creating another element there. We really get the sense of all that we saw from Lex Luthor, is how much he just hates things, particularly Superman. And it seems like he's on a discovery to figure out who Superman is, where he's come from, and then realizing that he's an alien or something, and then completely dismissing him and wanting to destroy him. So there's a lot of interesting story elements, and the dynamic of Superman, it's similar actually to Batman v Superman in some ways, because Batman v Superman was this whole thing about, well, Superman, you've been doing all these things, now you need to come to the courts and kind of present yourself and talk about why it is that you were allowed to do these things. And it's an interesting take, and this seems to be a similar idea, but not quite the same. I think something that struck me watching this is when Corenswet was cast as Superman, everyone was like, this is like a Henry Cavill copy-paste. Looking at photos of Henry Cavill and David Corenswet, definitely you think, oh, they basically look very similar. But seeing him act and the way he talks and the way he presents himself, he's so different. And I think that'll take a bit of getting used to, as it should, because you don't want to see the same thing you've seen before. Henry Cavill was Henry Cavill. You don't want a Henry Cavill impersonator. You want someone who's going to present their take on Superman and be their own person. So there's those elements. We also got to see some cool shots of some of the heroes and villains. We got to see whoever that guy was, the helmet on, I don't know, flying around, laser beaming stuff. It was interesting to just see some of the powers that came from these characters. We've got, Green Lantern. We've got Guy Gardner doing his little Green Lantern ring hand slapping in the background. We got to see Mr. Terrific and his little T-spheres floating around. whacking people in the face. We got to see the engineer and her blades flying around. So there's a lot going on here. There's a lot going on. And I think the real challenge will be seeing if James Gunn can actually bring it all together and not make it feel overcrowded, and also make us care about this new Superman. From the trailer, I don't think my excitement has been drastically elevated, but it's got me interested. No doubt there's going to be more trailers coming out. I think it's a month and a bit, 2 months till the movie comes out. So fingers crossed it's going to be epic. What did you guys think of this trailer? I think it wasn't bad. It was a good trailer, good solid trailer. Gave us a lot of details. I'd love to hear what you guys think, and let me know in the comments below.